apparently. We'll see if he gets what he wants.
Yeah, that's an early moon pearl, though. Take
Interesting. That. So Uncle was clearly a fortune teller in the old days.
Alright. Yeah, they're lockstep right now.
Yep, taking the exact same route, which is actually a really standard opening route for an open mode seed. So it looks like we're going to go see either our uncle or the secret passage chest down here.
Alright, Uncle, what do you have for us? Huh, some safety.
Well, that's clearly what's wrong with your uncle.
I think they're really here for the money. I think the heart container was just a bonus.
Probably. Early money is really, really nice. WeightyWords making a goof there with starting at his house when he really didn't mean to. Alright, so Acmlm ahead by about a save and quit. That probably won't last long as these guys are both excellent, excellent executors of the game.
Alright. So, for those just joining us and have been kind of asleep for like the last couple of months, this is the spoiler log tournament. Our runners had 15 minutes before this race started to take a look at the spoiler log. They're allowed to reference it throughout the entire run. And yeah, it's been a wild ride. Our players have knocked out, and there's our bow. Our players have really knocked out a lot of other really good players to get where they are.
Yeah, there have been some amazing races, and with them knowing where everything is, these are some really fast, really intense races too. So, hang on to your boots.
But they're overrated. Oh.
I don't know. ACM doesn't think so. He definitely picked him up. We'll see if WeightyWords agrees.
I'm sure he will.
Yeah, it looks like that's 3 against 1, Sanak. I think you lose the boots are overrated argument.
Fair.
ACM thinks that third chest is overrated, though. Oh, WeightyWords does not, grabbing 20 rupees there. And then a bonk for good measure.
There's our first bonk of the match.
Oh yeah, we have plenty of time to get a bunch of those.
Our flips.
Alright, so we have vast and varied footwear so far, only 3 minutes in. And library being extraordinarily useful with our boing beam.
Alright, looks like Acmlm is going to take that hook shot, and not like Geary has got to South Shore.
Seems to be a little hesitation on his part, though. He is coming over this way. Our bush crab giving us a boatload of money. Holy cow, WeightyWords just robbed that crab blind.
Yeah, so the prizes for those are in the spoiler log. It's not in a normal log. We added that. Wow, and this cave was really loaded. But yeah, so WeightyWords knew about that. It wasn't his blind luck.
Man, this absolutely loaded mini Moldorm cave. That is awesome.
And this seed's really giving us the stuff that really our players really got robbed of in the first game, or silvers and boots.
Yeah, very much so. Now we do have some divergence. ACM looks like he is headed straight up the mountain where WeightyWords is going to go check our flippers locations. Huh, Huh, that's an interesting pickup. That could lead there being something on the bumper cave, or it could just be something nice to have. It could also lead towards an Aghanim requirement, which is unpleasant, but possible. Alright, WeightyWords heads into the castle as ACM plays Dodge the Cabbage.
So WeightyWords is in fact making the early Aga play.
Yep, not leaving much to chance or to misinterpretation. He is headed straight here with that cape. Probably really wishing he had some silver arrows right about now.
It's like resource management can really be a big deal in spoiler races. There's our red cane on ACMLM side, and plenty of arrows and the lightsaber.
Yep, ACM making a point of loading up on those arrows, which is a thing to think about. So one of the main differences between a regular randomizer race and the spoiler log races is that our players can actually watch each other's stream. So it's possible that ACM realized that maybe he wanted a little more than 5 arrows and remembered that they were in the chests, or just decided to open them anyways and got lucky. Alright, and ACM now heading into Aga Tower himself, right on WeightyWords' heels.
So, chat, what do you think? Is there anything in Lumberjack? Get your speculations in now. Or are they just doing it for Dark World access? Or both?
I was gonna say, why not both? And of course, that top red guard being an absolute troll and getting in the way of the 2-pot shot. Alright, so now more urgently, get your guesses in chat, 0 through 15. How many procrastination blue balls is our lovely little wizard friend going to give us today? This is something that's not in the spoiler log, so Sinek, what is your guess?
Whatever the RNG says.
You're no fun. I'm gonna go with a bad golf shot and say 4.
Or was blue ball number 1? Ooh, number 2. Oof.
At some point, you stop saying numbers and just start making disgruntled noises.
Pretty much.
Alright, so for those of you who are unaware of how this works, the first shot in every cycle is guaranteed to be something that you can reflect. The next 3 are 50-50, and the last shot is a lightning. So right now, WeightyWords is 5 for 5 with blue balls. And
Whoa.
make that 6 for 6.
Is it going to be the legendary 15?
I mean, if it is, I'm just really glad that neither of us called it, because then we get shot by both of the runners, I'm sure.
Oh, well, it's not 15 anymore.
Which I'm sure WeightyWords is very pleased by.
There's number 7. I think we're on pace for like 13, I think. Oh, never mind.
No, that's it. Just 7.
Yeah, 7.
WeightyWords showing Agadim some love taps, I would guess. Although, I think love is a nice way of putting it.
Alright. So, both our runners, they took out Aghanim. And it looks like it was, like, I think it was probably just for access to the east part of or west part of, Dark World.
I mean, at this point, it's access to any part of the Dark World,
Yeah.
because we don't have another set of mitts or the hammer yet. That could be proven otherwise, depending on where we find those 2 items. But as of right now, yeah, ACM giving the wizard what for as well.
I don't blame him.
And WeightyWords heading straight for Thieves Town. Oh, just to open it. Alright, we're going to get some spots over here first. Grabbing his Master Sword.
So, Tempered Sword is pretty accessible this season.
Most definitely. And now, chat, keep in mind, unless we find the hammer in here, WeightyWords is not going to be able to open the big chest. Not that that's necessarily a big deal, since he knows what is or isn't in that chest, but it's something to keep in the back of your head.
I wonder why he went for the key, though.
I mean, that key is really, really quick to get. Probably quicker than dashing down the hallway and back, but I'm not sure. Skipping all the rest of it, though, and grabbing that key, so... We could have muscle memory. I have seen that a time or two. That's perhaps one of the best parts about these spoiler log races is, so you see people who run NMG normally, and they'll do things that people who play a lot of rando won't do, or vice versa. But the spoiler log tournament setting is different from both of those, because you're always in some sort of pseudo-go mode. So there's certain chests that you know you can skip, and certain chests that you obviously know that you need, but remembering that at a particular time is iffy at best. WeightyWords is skipping everything else, though, so nothing so far of interest.
So, yeah, ACMLM grabbed 20 rupees. And might be turned around.
Yeah, since he also grabbed the compass.
Yeah, I think he may have, he may have misread the log on where the big key was at. He's probably going to grab it right now.
Yeah, the log can be complicated. A lot of those names are either NMG related by saying the compass chest or the map chest, as WeightyWords picks up the map. And some of them are just kind of oddly named. For instance, the chest that that had the small key in it is known as the ambush chest because those 2 lovely little blobs seek to enact vengeance upon you as you grab their loved belonging.
Yeah, and there's actually a really nice spreadsheet. Somebody in chat could link it. There's a spreadsheet that somebody made. I think it was I have no name. That has alright, what was Blind's pun?
Blind reminding us that unnecessary elephants are in fact irrelevant.
Wise words.
I will just say, if puns are the part of a car, then that one was definitely the trunk.
Oh, hammer.
Yes, that's me. What can I help you with?
You put the hammer there?
I mean, you know, He's short-sighted. What did you expect? Wait
Why
a minute.
is he going back into Thieves Town?
Oh no. Did Thieves Town just pull a swamp on us?
I think we might have gotten Swamp Palaced.
That's really aggravating. Oh no, it's looking like we did. That's terrible.
Yeah, this would have been kind of annoying if this was played blind. Because, like, how many people would actually go back into Thieves Town or versus abandoning this?
I mean, honestly, with the luck that I have playing Rando Seeds, that would have been the first thing that I did, but I wouldn't want to do it.
Yeah, and I'm suspecting that key pickup was not a mistake. Although you may have been able to get away with using the key immediately, and then picking up the key as you were like going to fight blind. That may have saved a few seconds. It's not like a second maybe, but not a big
That's
deal.
a fair point.
Yeah.
And we get a fetch quest. Why?
What?
Why? Weighty,
he's gonna-
just fall. Just fall. Weighty, just fall.
There we go. So, mushroom. It's
That's not. That's not. Really? I mean, there are two options. We do have an early... That's interesting that he grabbed the cape as well as the cane of Burna. I guess he wants some variety in his safeties. But with the fact that we know the red cane is well within reach, that mushroom could also be... yeah, you didn't need fake flippers there. That mushroom could also be a fake powder check, potentially.
yeah, if he was in a fake power, he would have done it by now. So, what is at the witch's hut?
Something terrible?
There's
Oh,
our
really?
flute.
Which, if you look at our tracker, you'll notice that Mire is a pendant. So, flute not technically required, as long as there's nothing in Mire, that is. And as long as you can get the book for quick access to desert.
Alright, Acmlm also picking up his mushroom. And WeightyWords giving us a quick pit stop at Bonk Rocks.
Yep, that does put them both at 6 hearts, but sitting in green mail still, so we don't have a whole lot of hits we can absorb. And ACM reminding us that that tree is an apple tree.
Oh, 07.
I also think that ACM made 2 mistakes there in the last minute or so. The first one is that, well, he thought he turned in the mushroom when he hadn't, and the second one is that he forgot to keep his timer running. He's currently stopped at 18 minutes and 9 seconds.
It's a world record.
Whew, that'd be some clearing.
So, right now, with the exception of the detour for the Master Sword versus getting the cape, our runners have really stayed in lockstep with each other. There really hasn't been a ton of route divergence.
Yeah, this is a bit unlike the first race where they literally just ran in different directions for the first several minutes, and it's going to be close here.
And Mire.
That's definitely why he grabbed the Cane of Burna there, because I'm fairly certain that he would have not have made that with the cape.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. That was probably the logically required item.
Most likely that or a bottle somewhere that neither of them have picked up yet.
So, WeightyWords. He's gonna. Alright. It's like Hype Cave has something.
Yep, and keep in mind that while he was up at Death Mountain, he did not stop at Paradox Cave. So no red cane yet for him.
Alright. That was our required ice rod for Turtle Rock.
Yep, and are not required but free ether.
So WeightyWords is going to take all these pieces and has clearly seen some treasure in Swamp Palace.
What's interesting, though, is that he didn't make a stop for the third sword, which would have made Argus, assuming that he's going to murder Argus at this given point in time, much easier. Alright, ACM heading in and grabbing his ice rod as well. And it looks like he's going to be walking in the swamp as well.
I'd say right now, assuming that the sword difference doesn't really bite WeightyWords, WeightyWords really has a nice lead right now.
That's a fair point. Assuming that he can go through everything that he needs to quickly, he will save himself one trip up the mountain that ACM already did take early on. So we'll see how that works out. Because although the red cane is required, it's not actually required for anything that's not on the mountain other than Mire, and that's only if we actually have to kill Vidi.
Oh yes, this was definitely an Egg Seed. Somebody is bringing it up in chat. Yeah, they needed it for their Dark World access. I'll just reveal right now that Lumberjack had nothing.
Yeah, with the hammer being on blind and the mitts thus far nowhere to be seen, but should be seen somewhat shortly at this point.
So Acmlm is going to have a slightly easier time with this fight with the Tempered Sword.
I would argue that with green mail and 6 hearts, WeightyWords having to dance around quite a bit here, ACM could save a boatload of time just needing 1 slash.
Oh, come on, Argus.
I'm pretty sure Argus just frame ruled a silver arrow.
There we go. That's what it looked like.
Hey! That's where those went.
Yep. That plus the hammer made Ego 1 required.
Yep, a 7 blue ball Aga. Ugh. ACM foregoing an attempt at the quick kill here, but still gonna manage a healthy 1 cycle, which is 2 cycles faster than WeightyWords did, so that Tempered Sword definitely saving him some time there. And WeightyWords heading straight up the mountain, so this is gonna be his second Death Mountain dip.
So, for those just tuning in, this is game number 2 of our bronze match between WeightyWords and Acmlm, with Acmlm 1-0 in this series. Our finals for this tournament are tomorrow at 3 p.m. EDT here on Speed Gaming. That is definitely going to be a can't miss matchup. And while WeightyWords grabs the red cane as well and his tempered sword.
So at this point, I'm definitely going to say that WeightyWords should have just grabbed that Tempered Sword and the other stuff there in Paradox Cave when he came up here to grab the mirror. That was not great routing on his part.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to cost him too much.
I mean, not necessarily, but when most of these races are done in under an hour, you don't need too much to lose.
Oh no. Yes.
What would it be?
Spending a little bit of time for that bottle.
Yeah, it looked like he forgot he wanted to grab it. Which is interesting, as the bottle itself doesn't give any safety, so maybe something non-sick kid. Alright, Weighty grabbing a heart and our only confirmed required medallion.
So, if WeightyWords wins this game 3, this will go into a triple header. There will be a game 3 right after this, game 2.
And looks like WeightyWords is going to be following ACM into Mire. A pendant Mire, nonetheless, and not even a green one. So there's either something in here or, well, something on our favorite book reading club.
Alright, so I'm going to have to give the advantage back to Acmlm right now.
Yeah, they do more or less have everything else, everything that the other has. So, although ACM does not have that bottle, so we'll see how that ends up working out. And ACM heading for everyone's favorite Mire chest. The lamp making it even better. Hold, please. There is a wall that you cannot currently see that's moving. You'll just have to take our word for it.
Oh, there's a fire rod. Now that lamp was most certainly required too.
Okay, so follow us through the depths of insanity. You had to walk into Thieves Town, get the hammer at Blind, go back in, and open up that big chest. Inside the big chest was the mushroom, which you would then use to acquire the flute. The flute was required for, at the very least, Mire, perhaps Desert as well. And you had to go to the vanilla big key chest to get the fire rod. That's unkind.
Yeah, that would have been very annoying to play blind. Like I said before, how many people would have double backed into TT versus just a bit orphaning that check?
And then after you last locationed it, you would then have had to go on a just merry goose chase to eventually lead you to the fire rod. And chat pointing out that we are in go mode, although we tend to call it boss rush mode here since we kind of know where everything is to begin with. That being said, both of our runners still have 5 dungeons to complete, so we do have quite a bit more execution to run through.
So I would say probably the most terrifying part, there's like 2 parts that are really terrifying with a spoiler log race. First is that first 15 minutes, trying to sort out everything. And then the second is now when you're in this state, where you now know that it's all just go forward and clear everything as quickly as possible. Can you out-execution your opponent?
I mean, it's not just that, but you're also doing it in generally very poor conditions. I mean, it's not very frequent that you would sit here with 8 hearts and green mail, and I'm sure Desert's not an issue, and Hera and Eastern won't be an issue either. But then you have Skullwoods, which could potentially be a problem, and then there's Turtle Rock, which is always a problem.
It's a pretty clean landmo kill.
Silvers, though, making landmo no problem at all. Another addition to that, perhaps, anxiety that you get for the second part there that you were mentioning is that you know exactly where your opponent is, which some people can say is a nice thing, but in my opinion, generally not. Especially if you know your opponent's very good, and we do see a sick kid turn in here. Interesting. Weighty grabbing his 10th heart.
So, as they left the dungeon, they were 16 seconds apart. That now has probably diverged a little bit because of that pickup of the sick kid item.
Yeah, it does make sense. Weighty was going to have to flute here to complete Skull Woods anyways, and he wasn't going to be able to complete Skull Woods until after he got the stupid fire rod off of the Mire big key location. So it does make sense, although the fact that he did have to climb the stairs and then go back down the stairs in Super Bunny Cave did kind of eat away at that time a bit.
So you gotta keep in mind, nothing's a waste of time if it keeps you from dying. Because dying is the worst way to lose time.
That's fair, even if you consider that Weighty probably spent an extra 20 to 30 seconds. There are very few places that Weighty could die that would cost less time than that. And even outside of dying, there's also kind of that red zone execution where you're low enough on health that you feel like you have to play it safe. And you lose all sorts of execution time at that point because you're not cutting corners anymore and you're just trying not to die. So avoiding that is also important. And WeityWords showing some superior programming skills, absolutely deleting the bug that was put in front of him.
Alright, and Acmlm is going to be fighting Armos Knight soon. Blink and you miss it. You all know how that works.
Yeah, pretty much. If you have access to ACM's audio, it's basically just going to be a rendition of wow, wow, wow.
Alright, now WeityWords is going to go and go ahead and probably do Eastern here. Pod dependent. So they're probably... We'll see to see if they go in there. Well, no, they won't. They're in go mode. Never mind. I'm dumb.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can't think of anything at this point that would be worth it. Although ACM is going after Skull Woods now, so once these dungeons are completed, we'll have an idea of who is in the lead. Man, that guard... I hate it when that happens. That's probably the worst mechanic of A Link to the Past, is you can just be dashing through the bush and something just pokes you in the face.
This feels bad when it happens. There's nothing you can do about it.
I mean, if you're playing Randomizer, it can sometimes be really, really funny, because you can have something like a fire bar just pop out of a bush. Surprise!
Or just get that suddenly BMOS.
It's even more fun when you have randomized damage, and then, like, the fire rod, or in your case, BMOS, does like 6 hearts of damage.
I think Acmlm is a little bit ahead right now.
Yeah, most definitely. Outside of a Mothula mishap, he will most definitely have his 4th crystal prior to Weighty getting his.
Yeah. Acmlm is going to be able to use the fire rod to kind of... Wow. He's not being cooperative here. There we go.
Actually, it didn't look like Mothula was being cooperative, but still, ACM was able to put a lot of damage on her.
Yeah. Like Mothula won't take damage when he's in the spikes because video games and programming. So, yeah.
Although, to be fair, they really didn't give Mothula a whole lot of health for being a boss. 4 tempered swings is all that's required to take him down. That's really not a whole lot of help.
So I'd say right now, WeightyWords is about 30 seconds behind. We'll get a good beat on it here in just a minute.
Yep, and with both the remaining crystals being up on top of the mountain, this will be one more trip up here, and then we'll be able to finish everything off.
Alright, so 33 seconds.
Alright, this is still definitely within reach for WeightyWords, although ACM does have that stupid dead rock. I hate dead rocks.
Alright, you were saying? Sorry.
So even with that dead rock being awful, this is still definitely within reach. With only 10 hearts and green mail, those chain chomps do a lot of damage, and they don't really have any safeties in general. There's some stuff that'll make them invulnerable, but in terms of magic powder or having a fairy, neither of them have anything, so this is still anyone's race.
I mean, we'll have to see if that extra heart container that WeightyWords picked up pays off for.
Well, it didn't end up being an extra heart container because ACM grabbed a 10th one as well.
It's true.
Yeah, I guess it's just a comparison of where they grabbed it.
Yep. Yeah. ACMLM did have as chat pointed out, did have a really cleaner Argus fight. Simply just due to the sword difference. And that can make up a lot of the difference that we're seeing right now.
Yeah, it was a 1 cycle versus a 3 cycle. I don't know what the time difference is, but I'm fairly certain that someone in chat will have that off the top of their head. And given that the difference is now, I believe, about 45 seconds, it at least counts for most of that difference. Alright, ACM deciding to skip everything he physically can. Whew, Weighty needs to be careful there. That's a lot of damage those suckers do.
There's your extra heart container.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure WeightyWords is glad he picked up that heart container.
Yeah, he's gotta be super careful right now.
Yeah, anything in Turtle Rock even looking at him funny is gonna cause him to die, so definitely wants to be careful here.
And that's going to slow him down too, just have that extra carry he's gonna have to take.
Most definitely. ACM did decide to forego using his boots for the laser skip. It will also probably lead towards WeightyWords taking the safety door.
Alright. ACMLM is fighting Trinex. Probably going to have him down in just short order. No safety door for WeightyWords, though.
Alright, so he'll basically be in one-hit KO for this entire match. Hopefully that'll work out for him. Definitely making use of that turn block invulnerability.
Alright, so there's a game. We like to play it. Tell us where
after Hera. After Hera.
Oh, that's right.
One more to go.
Getting ahead of myself here. Alright, never mind.
I mean, it's not a situation you see in regular rando terribly often, because usually you come up here and you can clear Hera, so you do it, because there might be something in Hera. And for those of you in chat who are saying it's over, keep in mind that we have 2 Moldorms between us and the prize, and a Moldorm fall is really all it takes. Nice blue goo there.
And no basement today.
Yeah, we are foregoing a coffee break, so we'll see if there's one in Ganon's Tower. WeightyWords grabbing that blue goo as well. Alright, so we have everyone's favorite worm.
Yeah, he has tempered sword. Just a couple spins. Or a spin and a poke.
Alright, so now, if you want to get your guests in chat for the big key for Ganon's Tower, feel free to do so, but do not guess numbers, as ACM's probably not going to be opening 8 chests, 9 chests, 10 chests. Guess a location. And if you're going to guess a room with more than 1 chest, don't guess the room and the location. It doesn't count if you just guess the room, guys. Don't cheat. Sinak, did you see the spoiler log location?
No.
Alrighty, what's your guess?
Tile room. I can
that's
hope.
Not too bad. That's fair. I am gonna go with vanilla room, left-hand side chest.
I figure if I guess tile room enough, I'll eventually get it right. But not today.
I mean, that depends. There could be no keys on the right-hand side, so he might have to go left for a key.
Nope.
Although, nope. Sorry.
That's dead. Unless he needs 2 keys.
That would be terrible.
He's not fighting anything in here. Never mind. So he just needed the keys. That's something that you can easily overlook in a spoiler race, is just the keys that you need just to make your way through Ganon's Tower.
Ooh, blue mail. That's nice.
Finally.
Yeah, that is definitely something that's not going to go amiss. Having a mail upgrade when you're sitting somewhere in the vicinity of 9, 10 hearts is absolutely amazing. Alrighty, anybody who guessed Rando Room?
Oh, yeah, he's
WeightyWords.
going in there. Yeah.
WeightyWords having some real difficulty with that red boomerang. Just goes to show why the blue one's better.
There we go. And another heart container, just for measure. Oh, what's this?
Didn't feel like killing the mini Helmosaur?
It is nice just to be able just to walk right through there without having to deal with them.
Chat pointing out that that big key location was the exact same as the last game. Synac, tell your spoiler log bot to shuffle the cards before it redeals.
Perception bias.
How many times have you said that this tournament?
Enough times to make it stick.
I like that.
Though some people didn't believe me at the beginning of the tournament with the 3 qualifier seeds that got rolled.
I mean, I've been through the vast majority of this tournament. I'm pretty sure every game that's been played, and I'm still not sure that I believe you entirely.
So, while their players are making their ways through the gauntlet, it's really down to execution at this point, even more so than previously. Acmlm does have a sizable lead. That can change. And it has changed before. But, so everybody keep in mind that there's going to be a final. The finals are tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's like, what? 11 a.m. on the other side of the coast?
If you're doing Pacific, it's going to be noon. Noon Pacific time.
All right.
Unless your state does not deal with daylight savings time, then you're going to be 1 more hour behind that. But outside of like Arizona and I think one other state that doesn't do that, everyone else in the U.S. observes daylight savings time.
So basically, what I'm trying to say here is that everybody here should tune into Speed Gaming at 3 p.m. EDT or whatever your local time is, and watch Keong and Pink Kitty Rose duke it out. They're going to do their best of 3 all in one shot, and the winner there is going to take the gold for this tournament. It has been a long road. We're also going to have restreams in French, Spanish, and Portuguese for that best of 3 as well, along with the English commentary. So no matter what language you speak, you're probably going to find a restream of it. So definitely check that out. That's going to be on the front page of Twitch too. And that's going to be really cool.
That is awesome. And as we are nearing the end of this tournament, huge shout outs to Sinek and the other admins because they are the people who did really all the tough stuff. I don't think Sinek slept in probably, 2 months now? 2.5 months?
I got a few multi-worlds in.
I mean, unless you had a lot of BK mode in those worlds, you still weren't getting much sleep.
That's the best time to do to write your bots. But anyway, Acmlm has in fact finished Aga 2. WeightyWords is starting his Aga 2 fight. It's a double.
Yeah. ACM did have a little difficulty. I'm pretty sure that was a 4 cycle. Oh, 5 cycle according to chat. Some really nasty blue balls in there.
So, what is Ganon's wisdom for us today? I think that was Cyclones.
That, I believe so. Ganon showing some similarities to a Niffler there. He just wanted it because it was shiny and gold. I still want my particular Triforce text, or my particular Ganon text that I haven't seen yet, but we'll see if that one gets in.
Alright. So ACMLM is now on Phase 2. Now is on the way to Phase 3. This is neck and neck right now. Like, a mistake can still change this. This is not over yet.
Nope, with 5 hearts and blue mail, a Ganon hug will be the end of ACM. So we'll see as ACM decides to show Ganon rather than tell him that we did indeed find the silver arrows.
But, yeah, so there's just one more silver arrow.
Yep, ACM deciding to play it safe and just go for 1 silver shot per.
And that is time for ACMLM. He is our winner of the bronze match. Everybody get your GGs, get the hype going. He is our 3rd place finisher for the Spoiler Log Tournament 2019, with WeightyWords coming in shortly behind. He is our 4th place finisher. It had been a long road for both of these runners, and this is the conclusion for both of them. I'm Spoiler Attorney Bot.
Shout out to the Sinek.
So we'll go ahead and I know ACMLM doesn't do voice interviews, but he'll probably be in chat if not already. And we'll go ahead and get WeightyWords in here as well.
Yep, for those of you who have questions for ACM, feel free to bombard him in chat as he enjoys answering them. But that was a spectacular set of races, with the first race showing us that we actually can complete a seed in under an hour with no sign of the Pegasus boots anywhere. And the second seed showing us that, yes, you can have an absolutely terrible set of items. And we are joined by WeightyWords. GG WeightyWords. So what did you think of those 2 seeds?
GG's. They were fun. They were actually pretty interesting seeds. They weren't like the worst seeds ever, but there were some interesting twists to both of them that would made it really interesting.
How about that fire rod placement?
Yeah, I saw that the flute was at like the mushroom spot. Oh, where's the mushroom spot? Oh, it's in Thieves Town Big Chest. No worries. And then as I was going through Thieves Town, I realized that I would have to dip back in with the hammer because I was like, wait a minute, I can't actually get that until I kill blind. So that was a fun one. That would have been downright awful for a blind playthrough.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
were mentioning that exact same thing.
And it was only to get that fire rod out of Mire.
So I'm going to ask something is a bit more broader now. So the tournament's done for you. What was kind of your overall thoughts of your performance throughout this tournament?
Me personally,
Yeah.
I never thought I'd get this far. I've said it. I didn't expect as like the number. I think what 18 seed. I was just kind of like happy to play some of these games, but I ended up going way farther than I thought. So I'm really happy about that. But I mean, overall, I got to play the maximum number of rounds that everybody's playing. So being able to do these is really fun. So I'm very happy about how things ended up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that you busted quite a few people's bracket predictions.
Yeah, I was up there for the top one for a little while because I just like made my bracket so that I would go to finals just for the fun of it, and I was the only one that did that. So
Hey, you had some great predictions of the rest of the bracket too.
yeah, I don't remember, but I'm probably like in the top 5 or so, and it's only because of myself.
Yeah, it's like when you took out Gerdo in what was the round of 16?
Yeah,
That kind of really
something like
that was a disruption right there.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't really see myself getting past him, but it happened, and then I kept going, and here I was. So
Yeah, it was most definitely a very impressive run. You were someone who I've seen in at least one of the other ALTTP rando tournaments, and it was really fun watching you go through it because you did really well. So, are you a fan of the spoiler log format?
I really am. I do enjoy. It's a really different pace than normal randomizer. It's a lot more intense, and it's very execution focused, and I really like that about the game. So like, I know that I made a bunch of missteps and little things, and I know that that's what cost me a little bit of time. Can't is it, based on like in normal rando, you can accidentally just not check something for later and just lose the race because of that, and you can't really do anything about that. But this one, I feel like I have complete control, and it's pretty refreshing after doing hundreds and hundreds of other randos. So I really enjoy it.
That's a fair point. I do enjoy watching the more execution-heavy side of it. It's not something that I would ever play, as I'm not very good at this game. I enjoy more the luck, because that's the only way I'm ever going to win a race. But it's a lot more fun to watch. So going back, I think the main point of Divergence, at least in my eyes, is that ACM hopped up Death Mountain and grabbed the Tempered Sword before he did Argus, which is not something that you would do. That you did. Going back, would you stick with that decision, or would you have gone up and grabbed the Tempered Sword before you did Swamp?
I mean, knowing how badly my Argus fight went, I would have gone to grab the sword. I wasn't really watching at the beginning because I'm usually focused. Did it looks like on the tracker that ACM didn't get cape?
Correct.
So that means he got the sword out of Paradox before climbing Aga. Okay,
Correct.
That was the kind of like my big decision that I had to make. I decided to just go up Aga Tower as fast because I felt like it wouldn't make that big of a difference, but I don't know. I thought it'd be that's one of those weird situations that you're never gonna be able to like predict coming, and so I kind of had to make a judgment call whether to rush Aga or go for that Master Sword.
Yeah, that's another awesome thing about the spoiler log setting, is that you get a lot of these really weird decisions that you wouldn't normally in either NMG or in Rando. Like, do you go for this sword? Do you grab this? Do you get this? It's very much a balancing act between, do I want to survive, or do I think I can really low percent this?
Yeah, definitely. And oh boy, am I glad I got that heart from Sick Kid. I wasn't planning on getting the heart from Sick Kid, but like I saw the mail locations and they were reachable, but they would cost a little bit of time. So I kind of like made that decision midway through my run to grab a bottle. I should have grabbed the race game bottle like from the beginning, but I didn't. I ended up grabbing the one in Super Bunny instead to get that heart from Siggy. But it saved me in Turtle Rock because, gosh, I don't know what kind of RNG that was, but I got bodied in Turtle Rock.
Yeah, you basically had one chain chomp hit and one pokey hit, and you were down to one heart. And then Sinek and I kind of went, well, I'll bet he's glad he grabbed that heart from Sick Kid.
Yeah, and I wasn't expecting that because there wasn't anything at the chomp chest. So I was like, oh, I'll just dash past them. But that right one just like got in my way, and I tried to like go around him, but it didn't work. I should have just pulled out my cape, but I thought I could like squeeze past him. And then the pokey one, I don't know what happened. I don't think I've ever been hit there in a really long time. So that was very unexpected.
Yeah, that's a really difficult one to adjust to because that pokey's not usually in your way, but if it is, you're dashing downwards and have almost no reaction time to it whatsoever. So you just kind of turn around and there's a pokey in your face, then it bounces off the wall and hits you right in the teeth, and you're down 3 or 4 hearts.
Yeah. So that TR was very rough, but I'm glad I made it through without dying. I definitely had to improvise some things in the middle to not die. So I'm happy I didn't die.
You still didn't take the safety door though, which gave me a little bit of a heart attack.
I'm okay with Trinex. It's just all the stuff before Trinex, and I was gonna take it, but then when I was in the dark room, I pulled out my cane in order to survive. Because I would have died otherwise. I guess I could have used a hook shot, but since I used that cane to do laser skip, I felt fine because the only thing left was Trinex, and I'm confident that I don't get hit by Trinex. So
That's a fair point. You pulled it off, so I can't really give you any difficulty for that.
yeah, I really wanted that sword out of King's Tomb, but there was like no good chance to get that sword. So
Yeah, there wasn't anything else in the surrounding area at all.
Yeah.
And with Mitt being on Argus, yeah, you weren't really going to have a chance to go get it after you'd gotten Mitts. And you definitely didn't want to go do it from the Dark World and then mirroring over, because that's just a boatload of time.
Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, like as you said, once you're at the point where you can get that sword, there's no point in getting it because you're already going to have tempered. There's nothing else over there, so it doesn't really save any time.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, so did you have any further insights that you wanted to make about either of these 2 seeds or about the tournament in general?
Yeah, I mean, I had a lot of fun. Every seed has a little something different to it, and that's what makes these races a lot of fun. Is if you're doing like normal rando, you do the same routine. You have like your high percentage checks. You go through that list, but there are a lot of interesting decisions to make. So I'm really happy that I got some interesting seeds, and being able to participate in this tournament was a lot of fun. And I knew that my execution isn't like on par with the top runners, but like this definitely proves that, and I definitely want to get a lot better. Just in general at Link to the Past, whether it be the spoiler logs or rando or NMG.
So I have Cyclone in voice. He's one of the other admins that I've been working with on this tournament. We just wanted to congratulate you on your 4th place finish in this tournament. It was hard fought and well earned.
Hey, thanks. I appreciate it.
And
very well played. Good race today.
Yeah, and I'd also like to congratulate Acmlm. I know he's not in voice with us. He never is. But I'll tell you something. Thank you so much for playing. Congratulations on your 3rd place finish on that that virtual bronze trophy.
Yes, congratulations to Acmlm. It was a very, very well-fought race. Both races were close. This one especially close. I think it came down to, about a minute apart. So very, very well fought. Very enjoyable to watch. And if you guys think that was a good series, come back tomorrow. We got the finals tomorrow.
Oh yeah, we do. We got ACM. We have Pink Kitty Rose versus Keong 92. Keong being completely undefeated throughout this entire tournament. Can PKR put a tick in the L column for Keong? We will have to see tomorrow. That is at 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time here on Speed Gaming. You just make sure, set an alarm, call in sick to work. Make sure that you are here for that race. It will be worth watching.
For those of you, our friends in England, in Germany and France and all those places over in Europe, that's a great time for you to join us tomorrow as well. That'll be about 8 p.m., 9 p.m., somewhere in that range for you guys. So we're going to have a lot of people able to pop in here tomorrow. We look forward to seeing everyone here for this tomorrow. This is going to be absolutely hype. I didn't want to really talk about tomorrow, but I'll say just very quickly now. This is actually the matchup that I predicted at the start of the entire tournament. Not to say that anyone else obviously couldn't have gotten here. Obviously, a lot of runners here could have been in this final, but I suggested to PKR very early that I think she's going to be the one who makes it, and I had a feeling she was going to be facing Keong, and we got that exact matchup. So this is going to be an absolutely insane matchup tomorrow. I'll be here to share it with you guys tomorrow. We're going to have a lot of great commentators on hand. We're going to be having a good party in here tomorrow here on the Speed Gaming channel. So make sure you all get in here tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to have a good time.
Oh, indeed. Anyway, so Hammer Bro, do you have any final thoughts before I think we're going to sign off here?
I do not. I was absolutely this entire tournament was great. These races were hype, and it's just awesome to see these guys come out here and just blow away this game in absolutely absurd times. So I had a blast. Thanks for setting it up for both of you. Congratulations to WeightyWords and ACM, and definitely stop in tomorrow because we're gonna have a whole bunch of fun here.
If I could throw in a quick note, Amber, I know we said this in setup before we came up here, but I think you said you were a new commentator for this tournament. You've done a phenomenal job in this tournament. I just want to tell you that right here where everyone can hear that as well. You did a great job in this tournament. Thank you so much for volunteering. We look forward to seeing you in future events as well.
Oh, indeed.
I really appreciate it, man. It's been a blast to do it. Thanks for giving me the opportunity.
Yeah.
Indeed.
I also want to shout out our tracker Demensive. I'm not sure if you're still in chat there. You can wave if you want. Demensive has tracked a lot of matches for this tournament, and without Demensive, we wouldn't have gotten nearly the coverage that we would have gotten with our matches. So yeah, go ahead and please give him a follow. Yeah, he's just been really instrumental in helping us with getting everything staffed.
And make sure you follow the runners, of course, as well while we're talking about following people. That's the most important people to follow here. But also make sure you follow the commentators tonight, who were, of course, Hammer and Cynic. We will get their links in the live chat for those of you watching on Twitch. So I'll just let you guys wrap it up. But just to give you a quick programming note, since I am in here, Zelda 1 multi-category will be following on this channel as soon as we are done here. That is an 11 p.m. start. Because we no longer need Game 3 in this, that's going to follow here. So you're going to get to see that right behind this broadcast. Stick around for that. If you are watching on YouTube, however, what is going to be behind this will be the finals of this tournament. So make sure you stay tuned for that if you're watching on YouTube.
All right. Well, good night, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you all tomorrow here on Speed Gaming.